Welcome to today's web series episode for JetTrac Fire Inspection for desktop and mobile devices. My name is Dean Weatherston. I'm one of the FileMaker developers who put this app together, and I hope to give you some basic insight into how it works and the recommended methods. Today's topic is dashboard, and we're going to be looking firstly at the iPad and then going into our desktop view of the dashboard. And there's a few different things we are expecting in the dashboard, including all the information that was captured by the technician, as well as where we're going to go and put that information into other areas in your business. So what we're looking at right now before we get onto the desktop is what do we do from the tablet side. And the technician, assuming he's done for the day, he's happy with all the results and new deficiencies and information that he's added for a particular work order, he needs to sync up back to the host file, and that can be done remotely and also when he's back in the office. So what you need to focus on, or what he needs to focus on, is the option we're looking at right here on the work order. At the bottom left, you see where it says sync now. You can click on that button, or you can go back to the schedule and you can also sync now from this point. But let's just go back where it'll be most common on the work order layout, where he's just done for the day. He's changed the work order status at the top right, and he's ready to sync back up. So basically just click on the sync button. You'll see a notification it's connecting to the server, and in a few seconds it'll connect up and you'll see it's pushing some records, new details going through back to the office, and in a moment we'll be able to go back and show you the dashboard on the desktop. Welcome back to the video, and we're on the dashboard looking at after a sync, everything that's come through there. We have just three examples, three companies. You may have a long list of companies if you have lots of clients and active work orders. Just looking at these from left to right, you see the company name on the left and a link to get to that client information. I can click on this, for example. It takes me through to my client's layout. Let's go back. Work order layout column. If I click on this number, it's going to bring up all the details at the time of the dispatch, and you can kind of refer back to that if there was anything that you were expecting or something to look at on this dashboard. Information about the properties, we just have one. Information about the procedures, you can click on this, and in this example we did a few tests to show that you could create deficiencies from the test procedure, and you can see this on line 1.2 all the way to 1.4 and further down. You can see all these links the same way a technician would have seen it when he was covering the test procedure. And I can click on these links too to go through to the deficiency in a few more details and click on the image if there are any. Let's just go back to our dashboard. Moving on, the lead technician is me in this case, and that'll actually be important when we want to merge the data with the official forms that go to the AHJ. Date modified, dispatch date, some information about how many of the procedures were completed out of the total. In this top example, 1 of 1 has been completed, and in others not so many. The deficiency column is indicating to us that we have some deficiencies. So if I click on that, it's going to give us a laundry list of all the deficiencies that were captured, and if we have any images, click on the right and you can see exactly what this deficiency was about. Going back here, we have an archiving feature. It's very simple. You just click on whichever of these records. I'll just choose the second one here. I'll check box there. It's disappeared. If I go here to archived, that's where it's gone, and basically it's just hiding any of these records that we're not really working with anymore, or it's kind of expired. We can click on archive and just help us organize this list going forward. Next up is the PDF column, and what that's doing is when we click on this button, I'll just click on the top one here, we just have one building and one procedure, but you can select all if you have many different buildings and procedures. And that as soon as I click on the export option, it's going to create a file that is going to be ready to merge with our JetTrac system in the background, and that's going to give or put all that data into the AHJ forms. So I've got an example of a pre-filled form in the background here. Let me just bring it up. And basically that's what I'm talking about. All the information we have and need to put into this form is showing up in the cover letter about this property, the contractor information, and a few other details. Moving on, there's a couple of details here in the test procedure about failures and passes. Any other notes or riser information has been added too. Just moving on, a few more deficiencies and comments. A signature at the bottom here about who this person was, the technician, and some more riser information on this 5th page. And you get the story. And any information that was needed to go onto this form would show up here. Moving on to the last option, which is INV, which is standing for invoice, and that's basically it's going to give us the option to generate an invoice. It looks very similar to QuickBooks, if you're familiar with that, and it's going to take whatever deficiencies we've designated for an invoice, and it's going to put that together. Let me just click on an example here to see what it gives us. Okay. There's a little message that comes up. No deficiencies have been marked for invoice, so we've got to do that first. And it's taken us to the deficiencies layout. Just happens to be 1. I'll go and click on the plus for invoice. And let's go back to our layout, and now I'll click on it again, and you can see it's put together a simple invoice for us about this particular work order, and a couple of these fields need to be checked and decided upon by you. And then the intention is to click on the QuickBooks button at the bottom to generate the document that we will use to merge with your QuickBooks application. All right, one last thing is that each of these columns, well, I won't say all of them, but most of them are sortable. So if I click on company here, you can see it's sorting, and I I think by properties and technicians and date. There's some good examples there. If you need to arrange your records here, you may have, as I say earlier, many records to deal with. That brings us to the end of the presentation on this look at the dashboard and syncing to the dashboard from the technician. Stay tuned for future videos in the future and more in-depth looks at different examples. Goodbye for now. Thank you.